You guys, welcome back to the channel, and to everyone that celebrates Christmas, Merry Christmas, and for those who don't, Merry Christmas anyways, because I don't know what else to say. Happy holidays, I guess? I don't know. Democrats, Democrats, Democrats. I know I pick on you guys a lot, and I think that's extremely unfair, but it's really kind of hard not to when I get stories like this. I know I do go quite hard on the liberals, and I love you guys. I absolutely do love you guys, because I know a lot of you have your hearts in the right place. Problem is, there's a lot of you, I'm not going to say all of you, obviously, do not see the potential issues in the crap you push. I think a lot of the issues that we were seeing out of the modern liberal progressive party is honestly just complete ignorance. Again, I do think a lot of liberals do have their heart in the right place, but there are obviously some bad actors amongst you that are exploiting that. But that doesn't just go for liberals. We obviously have that problem with the neocons as well. We'll just say a little exploitive on the naive. Now, I do believe in reform. I do believe there is an arc in redemption in mistakes that we've made in our lives. Now, there are a few things that I don't really believe you can make a societal redemption, maybe spiritual redemption, but there are crimes such as murder, rape, and, child stuff that I don't think there is really any coming back from. Now, depending on the circumstances of why the murder took place, I guess there is some kind of redemption arc there, but there is absolutely none for the other two that I had mentioned. But let's jump back to the murder thing and jump into today's title. Breaking: outgoing Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards pardoned 40 convicted murderers. Out of the 56 inmates pardoned, the majority were convicted of murder charges. What? Well, that's just a little bit unnerving if you ask me. I don't know about how the people in Louisiana feel about 40 murderers being released from prison, but I'm going to assume most of them aren't super happy about it. And if any of you do live in Louisiana, I do want to hear what you have to say. 100%. Evidently, 11 of these murderers are from the New Orleans area. Now, I've never been to New Orleans, but I do hear it's a pretty crazy-ass town, and I can only imagine having 11 convicted felony murderers running around is probably going to make it that much crazier. Several of the inmates convicted involved the murder in the second degree as well first degree. One of the first degree was of Keith Elman Messiah, who demanded money from Bernice Holman in a Popeyes parking lot during Mardi Gras. When Holman and her friends complied and gave Messiah the money, he proceeded to shoot her in the face and fled the scene. He was recommended for the death penalty. Edwards told news outlet NOLA.com this week, "For as long as I can remember, Louisiana reflexively responded to an increase in crime by putting more people in prison and keeping them there longer." Now, I don't know if you know this. If you go to prison for murdering somebody, you probably should go to prison for a very long time. If you have an increase in crime, you respond to it by putting people in jail, especially for murder. This man Keith ran up, robbed a girl, shot her in the face, and is now just walking the streets with a pardon. Now, I do know that having a pardon does not remove this from your record, but in my opinion, that does not matter. You now have this Keith and 39 other convicted murderers just out and about in Louisiana. Now, this psychopath goes on to say, "We've never been made safer as a result of that. There is no data to suggest that an increase in crime here was because of the reforms." He's referring to the reforms on crime that were keeping people in prison. And I'm sorry, you might be right in some cases, like victimless crimes, like possession of, narcotics or something, right? But I don't know anybody who is complaining about keeping convicted murderers in prison. I really can't think of one fucking person. And when an overwhelmingly majority of the people that were pardoned were convicted murderers, that's kind of worrisome. And with the recidivism rate around 44% in the United States, I can almost guarantee you, as a matter of fact, I'd be willing to actually bet that at least one of these 40 convicted murderers are going to, murder again. Now, I don't know all the laws that pertain to owning a firearm in Louisiana or what your restrictions are or aren't, but if you are legally able to and of sound mind, I recommend this is probably one of the best times to go invest into a firearm. When you have 40 convicted murderers released, you guys should probably be on a high alert. Now, fortunately, Edwards cannot rerun for governor in his state. He is now outside of the term limits, and the GOP has appeared to take over, and hopefully, Louisiana. I know the GOP is not perfect. I am not a huge advocate for the GOP, but you might actually see some positive changes. Just have a little bit of faith, have a little bit of hope. My New Year's resolution is to make videos going after the GOP at least a little harsher than I have been in the past. I hate to come off as completely biased, but time and time again, I am seeing the Democratic Party or the progressive movement make horrible, horrible decisions. Not to say that psychopaths like Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't need to be discussed, because I do intend to bring her up a few times in the future. It's just really hard to ignore these decisions that are being made by the Democratic Party. Soft on crime, you guys, is only going to make your cities worse. I'm sorry. You are seeing it everywhere in the United States in Democrat-ran cities. Stores are being robbed, people are being assaulted, no one's getting charged, and crime is just progressively getting worse. But I do want to know what you guys think about former Governor Edwards' decision on releasing 40 convicted murderers. And as always, you guys, do not forget to hit the like or the dislike button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you hopefully get notified every time I post a new video, and Merry Christmas. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.